What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Rasta, and we are out here on the sidewalk having sidewalk conversations. And I have my two good friends here with me. I have Kadeem Joseph to my left, and to my far left, I have Mr. Colin Best. And today we are talking about knowing your status, your sexual status, and we're gonna be chopping it up, having a good conversation about that. So, fellas, how do you feel about knowing your status sexually?
I think it's important because it affects so many things, and I think sometimes we look at health. Well, as men, we don't think about health as much as we should, and even worse, we don't think about sexual health as much as we should. So It's something that we really need to look into.
True.
Yeah, I agree with Kadeem. To be honest, I'm going to come from the perspective that I don't understand how certain people have been sex and they don't know the status. Honestly, you know, you go in a social setting, you're liming, you know, you see people talking, and then when somebody bring up the suggestion, they're like, so you've been tested before? They're like, no, me good though, me good, me safe, or you know, but pull out, you know. They're like, they haven't watched the people, and you have to wonder like, what kind of craziness is that? It's like that don't make sense.
Yeah. And the funny thing, they say so casual, like if it's not a priority or it's not important, when it really is important, because it's important for you to know your status for the following reasons. 1, for yourself. 2, for your partner. 3, insurance purposes, because when you're going to get certain loans and so forth, these banks are requiring you to take an HIV test to know what your status is. And also for your family, just in the event you might want to donate blood to a loved one or a friend, you need to know your status as well too. So those are some of the reasons why it's important for you to know your status as well too.
But not only that, I think sometimes people get away with the notion that knowing your status just means you know whether or not you have HIV or AIDS. But there are a whole other wealth of STDs out there that you can also get, whether it be herpes, gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, the list goes on and on. And some of them are not as harmful, but there are others that will stay with you forever, and you don't want to be that person who you know, one time you slip up, or you don't know what signs to look for, you don't know if someone has a blister and you kiss them, you can possibly get herpes for the rest of your life. You don't want to be that person, so it's really good to educate yourself about, you know, what it means to have an STD and what signs to look out for.
They do affect your health in many different ways. For instance, you know, people normally when they go and get tested, they normally just go and test themselves at a lab or AIDS secretariat. But what we normally advertise on social media is AIDS, just AIDS and HIV. But with all these different diseases that you can possibly get, including STIs and whatnot, it's good to go to a laboratory and do a full check. Honestly, especially if you know you're out there living that life.
And some of these STDs, like, they have, I think, when you think about AIDS and HIV, you think about, oh, this is the one that can actually cause death. But if you think about something like gonorrhea, like if you leave gonorrhea untreated, you can have all sorts of side effects in your body, all the way down to arthritis. You know, if you think about syphilis, tertiary syphilis is rough to go through. If we don't have that treated. Chlamydia can lead to sterility for some people, depending on whether or not you get that treated. So it's not just AIDS and HIV, people. Like, it's all of the other ones that can go undetected, that you may mistake for something else. Those can mess up your life too.
What I think as well, like, men within us, some of us live that life, and we are afraid to just get a simple prick in terms of knowing what our status is. Like, as you said, some of them say they pull out and all that kind of something, but really, that not really save you. What you really need to know is you need to know if you're positive or you're negative at the end of the day. And some of us feel comfortable knowing that we don't know. Like, oh, whatever happened. Like, you rather hearing it from a medical physician saying that you are positive, rather than you taking the time out to say, let me go and do it for myself, and knowing where I stand, you know. And I find that we should get out of that habit, get out of that custom, and really take the initiative as men and do it, really and truly.
I understand what you're saying, because I had a friend one time I was speaking to, and he was telling me about his relationship or his past relationships, and I was asking him, because it was AIDS Secretariat's day, or the day was coming up, so I asked him if he ever get himself tested. He literally told me that, he never bothered to do it because he's always used protection. He believed nothing could possibly happen. So I told him, that makes sense. You're doing that all these years. Go and check yourself. You need to make sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, it comes back down to the sort of immortality complex that men have as well, because I think we build up ourselves to believe that we are invincible.
Yeah.
And certain things can't happen to us. Like anything could happen.
True.
Anything, you never know. And it's our attitude towards health in general. Like men don't tend to access healthcare in the same way that women do often. And in our old age, that's when things start creeping up. Your knees are hot, your backs are hot. Everything starts going wrong because in your younger years you didn't take care of yourself. So it's important to sort of have perspective. Like, don't think about just the now and the fun and the joy you get with having sex without using protection. But think about years ahead when perhaps you want to have a child, and you can't have a child now because of a long-standing STD, has caused some sort of disruption to your internal workings. These are things that we have to have on our mind.
True. Colin, look if you want.
Now I was gonna be like, that made sense. The point in where you would have said that you would have gotten a problem and you wouldn't realize, but men in general don't really take little illnesses or fertility. What exactly wrong? Just push through.
Yeah.
We need to really pay attention and really check ourselves out. So a lot of the times men really go to the doctors. Men don't have doctors. When they ask them, do you have a doctor? Or who's your doctor? Me to go doctor as well. Who's your type of boss? But we really need to take things seriously.
Yeah, we really need to do that. So that's what it is, people. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Sidewalk Conversations, and look out for more of this coming soon your way.